We are in the astounding treasure outside Deruta, Our Lady of the Baths, Madonna dei Bagni, and it's related to a miracle of the late 17th century, when a merchant of Casalina, Cristoforo, left his wife at home, ill in bed. He was out in the countryside, and he found a broken piece of pottery. On it was depicted, he was in the Deruta countryside, and this is the town of pottery, maiolica. And on the pottery was an image of Our Lady and the Child, and he hung it on this very oak tree, and he went home, and his wife was healed. So this shrine is full of hundreds of ex-votos, tiles thanking the Virgin for favors received. And here we have some hearts inscribed with PGR, which means per grazia ricevuta, for grace received. And they too are thanks to Our Lady of the Baths for favors received. Beautiful tablecloth on the altar in the pattern of the yellow dragon pattern of the maiolica called Raffaellesco. And now we'll go behind the altar and see the tile of gratitude which the merchant and his wife had made, the first tile of many hundreds which are here. Is the entrance to the church of Madonna dei Bagni. We're now behind the altar, and here is the tile commissioned by Cristoforo, Merciaro of Casalina, I believe a merchant of Casalina, who above the oak tree affixed the image of the Madonna and Child. And he returned home to Casalina near Deruta, and he found his wife, who had been in bed, perfectly healthy, and was sweeping the house. So here is the first of hundreds of tiles, and it is at the base of the oak tree. Here are other tiles for grace received. Many have to do with farmers and their animals. This is a family thanking the Virgin for grace received. This is another thanks for someone who was ill and healed. Beautiful maiolica tiles, naif, artists unknown, commissioned by artists around Deruta. And they've been commissioned since the miracle of 1657. Somebody was pruning a tree, fell out, and was healed. That's a common motif. Many of the motifs have to do with rural life. And we even have modern images. This is from 1987. This is thanks for a safe birth of a baby, 1993. This dramatic one is an accident. This is thanks for someone else who might have run a red light on his motorbike, but came out of that incident safely. These are many of the contemporary ones. Motorcycle accident. And up in the corner of all of them is La Madonna dei Bagni with the Christ child. And often the names of the people who commissioned them. Here in 1982, someone safely underwent an operation, no doubt about it. Many of the tiles are related to the care of animals because their health would be so important to the people. looks like this woman got kicked by a horse. This is thanks for favor received. Maybe their oxen was ill in 1662 and then healed. Someone else is praying and maybe thanks for his horse or donkey, which was healed. And this is another one, the horse, safely taken care of by Our Lady of the Baths. So many of the scenes are rural life. Years ago, some of the tiles were stolen, and these are reproductions of the stolen ones, and I can recognize the reproductions of the stolen ones because they give this cracking effect of ancient tiles. So these are reproductions of tiles which had been stolen, must have entered the international art market some way. And these, there's St. Anthony up there. This was done in 1666, but this is a copy because this section is the area where thieves broke in years ago and stole many of them. So now no one can be in here without people who work the area and take care of the shrine are present because of this terrible theft of years ago. Beautiful holy water font here in maiolica tile. We remember that maiolica is double-fired pottery. That symbol stands for Viva Maria, long live the Virgin. Thanks for favors received to Our Lady of the Baths. Ooh, falling out of a tree while pruning is a common motif. And here's the extraordinary shrine with hundreds of maiolica, folk art tiles, not to miss when you're in Umbria, and especially when you're in Deruta. La Madonna dei Bagni, PGR, per grazia ricevuta, for grace received. I leave every time I visit Our Lady of the Baths, Madonna dei Bagni. I have to stop and look at one of my favorite ones. This is an exorcism of 1678. This man was possessed by spirits, and he sought refuge with Our Lady of the Baths, asked for help, and here he is exorcised, and the devils are flying right out of his mouth, and off they go. Every time I come, I see another treasure. Our Lady of the Baths, Madonna dei Bagni. This tile dates from 1666. One of these that avoided theft, thank goodness. 1700. Madonna dei Bagni, maiolica treasures of Deruta, the city of maiolica. Before we leave, we can see Our Lady of the Baths, Madonna dei Bagni, in an image of what's called the Madonna de Misericordia, when the Virgin takes everyone under the protection of her cloak. And here she is taking the city of Deruta, and this is thanks to her for having saved Deruta from destruction in the earthquake of April 25th, 1943. So you can see the citizens of Deruta and the hill town of Deruta and the Virgin who's protecting them. And the PGR, per grazia ricevuta. And thanks to every single one of the artisans who've created these magnificent maiolica folk art images.